So Janteyl went missing on February 3rd, 2010 from Newark, Delaware. So, so 15, yes, 15 years exactly today. Um, she's a black female. She was just 15 years old when she went missing. She will be 30 years old as of 2025. Um, when she went missing, she was 5'2", 120 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Her hair was in braids at the time of her disappearance. Her ears are pierced. Her nicknames are Jay and Puff. She has a scar on her chin, under her lip, scars on her legs. She needs glasses or contact lenses, but it says she wasn't wearing either at the time of her disappearance. She was last seen wearing a short black ski jacket with a fur-trimmed hood, and Janteyl was 5 months pregnant at the time of her disappearance and would have been in need of medical attention. This case is heartbreaking. When I was reading, because I did find an article, or several articles, but one specifically, I believe, with her mother talking. Just heartbreaking case. So Janteyl disappeared from Newark, Delaware on February 3rd, 2010. She left school early that day because she wasn't feeling well. She apparently did arrive at her family's home, which was the Autumn Park Apartments in the 30 block of Winterhaven Drive. But when her brother came to pick her up, she was gone. She wasn't there. And her mother reported her missing at around 10 p.m. Their apartment door was unlocked. There was no indication of forced entry or a struggle there at the apartment. Nothing was missing. Not even Janteyl's eyeglasses, purse, or her winter clothes. Her family believes that she left the apartment voluntarily, intending to be back soon, maybe just to run a quick errand and come back. But then something happened, either on the way to where she was going or the way, if she was coming, or on the way back. Something prevented her from returning, is what her family believes. The last call to Janteyl's cell phone was from the father of her unborn child, a 26-year-old man. He has not been publicly named. And her phone last pinged near this man's mother's house. This individual has been interviewed by police. He has not been named as a suspect in her case. Her family has stated that they had accepted Janteyl's pregnancy. They were very supportive of her decision to keep the baby, and they do not believe that she ran away. She had run away from home one time before, but they said that she had returned very quickly. They think that she may still be in the local area, or she could be maybe in Wilmington, Delaware, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, or New York. And they say she may be in the company of an adult male. Her case, unfortunately, is unsolved. So if you have any information on Janteyl's case, you can call the Newcastle County Police Department at 302-395-8171. And like I said, I do have, actually I have two articles on Janteyl's case, or additional information. An interview, this is from NBCnews.com, and it is from, I swear I can't, I should have worn my other glasses, from February of 2021. So it says, Janteyl Johnson had a plan. She wanted to go to beauty school in Philadelphia, where she would train to be a hairstylist, and she wanted to go to business school to learn how to open and run her own salon. Janteyl's mother, Kima Johnson, says that she loved doing hair. Her mom says she was always changing hers up. She says she always did mine and her sister's. It was great having a personal hairstylist. She knew that's what she wanted to do. It was her goal, but that did not happen. Well, we don't think it did anyway. We just don't know. And that is just the hardest part for these families, is just not knowing. It's just not knowing. Janteyl was just 15 years old, 5 months pregnant when she disappeared from her Newark, Delaware home on February 3rd, 2010. Her mother says it was a shock when we found out she was pregnant, but she continued to go to school. She kept working toward her goal. Her mother told Dateline that Janteyl had an upcoming doctor's appointment to find out if she's going to have a girl or a boy, but she never made it to that appointment, unfortunately. On February 3rd, Janteyl's brother, who is about 18 months older than Janteyl, drove Kama to the train station so she could commute to her job in Philadelphia. He then took Janteyl to school, which was all part of their daily routine that they did all the time. But that day, they said Janteyl started feeling sick and called her mother just after noon to let her know that she was going to be home early. Kama told Dateline that her daughter was planning to return to school in the late afternoon for after-school activities, and then her brother would pick her up so they could meet their mother in Philadelphia for church. Her mother says she told me to call and wake her up so she could be ready to go. But when Kama tried to call her daughter's cell phone, there was no answer, unfortunately. Her mother says, I figured she was asleep or she went back to school. I was not alarmed at that point. But when Janteyl's brother got to the family's home at Autumn Park Apartments on Winterhaven Drive, Janteyl was nowhere to be found. Kama told Dateline that it was evident that she had been there, taken a nap, and made something to eat. Her mother added that the door was unlocked. Janteyl's personal belongings, including her glasses, purse, and clothing, were all left behind. Her mother says she just got this new bag, which was a Betty Boot bag, and it was still there. She didn't just leave it. So in other words, her mom knows she would not have left the house without this new bag that she got. So Kama and her son made phone calls to the school and to Janteyl's friends, but unfortunately no one had seen or heard from her. Her mother says now she's panicking. She says, I felt it in my gut that something had happened. Around 10 that night, Kama filed a missing persons report with the Newcastle County Police Department, who listed her as an endangered runaway. Drives me crazy. As Arctic would say, once again, just slap the, runaway label automatically. Kama told Dateline that the idea of her daughter being a runaway was a possibility, but she believes Janteyl did have the intention of returning, but something prevented her from doing so. Her mom says she left everything behind. It just did not make any sense. And I agree. If, a teenage girl is going to run away, I mean, she didn't take her glasses. She didn't take her purse. She didn't take any clothes. I mean, you have to take something with you. I mean, according to Kama, phone records revealed that Janteyl received a phone call that afternoon from someone that just lasted a few minutes. Kama added that the number was traced back to a burner phone and the caller was never positively identified. Kama says, I think someone she knew called her outside to go for a drive and talk. That's why it looks like she left so quickly. Kama told Dateline that there are a few theories that have been tossed around over the years, including that the man that Janteyl said was the father of her baby came to pick her up. A few days later, Janteyl's cell phone pinged near the house of the man's relatives, according to her mother. He has not been publicly identified, and it said earlier in the Charley Project that he's not considered a person of interest. Newcastle County Police spokesperson Corporal Michael Eckerd would not confirm these details to Dateline. He just said that Janteyl's case is actively being investigated. He added that there are no new leads, no suspects in Janteyl's disappearance. At that time, it encourages anyone with information to call the police. Janteyl will be 26 years old today. She'll be older than that. I believe this article's from 2021. Her mom says, I never even got to find out if my grandchild was a girl or a boy. It is heartbreaking. My heart just breaks for these families. Breaks for these families. Kama said she often worries if Janteyl is alive and well out there somewhere, and if her grandchild has the same round cheeks that Janteyl did as a baby. She says when she was born, she had the biggest squishy cheeks. I said she looked like a little puffball. And so that's how she got the nickname Puff. Her mom says everyone called her that really until she got older. Then her nickname became Jay by her friends and people at school. But she was always Puff to us. Kama remembers her daughter as a loving, kind-hearted teen. She loved to dance. Her mom says, I don't know what happened that day, but I don't believe she ran away from us. It's been so many years, but it still feels fresh. We would like answers. Absolutely. Once again, Janteyl was last seen wearing a black ski jacket with fur around the hood. Her hair was in braids when she disappeared. Her ears are pierced. She has a scar on her chin under her lip. She needs glasses or contact lenses, which she didn't have either with her on the day that she disappeared. Once again, anyone with information that could lead to Janteyl's whereabouts is asked to call the Delaware Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIP-3333. You can also visit the website, delaware.crimestoppersweb.com. Excuse me. Or you can contact the Newcastle County Police Department at 302-573-2800. Just breaks my heart, especially to hear these mamas with these interviews. And I think I had, if I can get my computer going, I believe this is from NCMEC, and I think they did an age progression photo, so I may do, if I can get it to screen share, let me make sure that this is what I'm looking at here. Yes, so I'm going to stop my camera for a minute while I'm doing this. Do a screen share so I can show you guys this, do this, something weird. Okay, something weird just happened. Anyway, do a screen share. I want you to be able to see this age progression. Plus, I put the links to all the sources I used in the description section. Let's see if it's going to share. So you can look at it for yourself. Let me change the layout so to make it a little bit bigger for you guys. All right. And there is, why is it not coming up? There it is. There's on the left is Janteyl at 15 when she went missing, and on the right is an age progression. I believe it would be to 40. I know it tells in the article. If anybody wants to take a screenshot of that, or like I said, the link is in the description section. All right, so this was from January 30th of this year, so just a few days ago. Kama Johnson's life changed forever on February 3rd, 2010, the day she says her 15-year-old daughter, Janteyl Johnson, was lured away from her home in Newark, Delaware, and has not been seen since. Today, 15 years after her disappearance, NCMEC is releasing a new age progression image of what Janteyl may look like, at 30 years old. At 30 years old, and that is it right there. Her mom, Kama, hopes this will help finally answer the question, what happened to Janteyl? Once again, I'll leave that up there for a second. On the right there is the age progression to 30 years old. Kama says that Janteyl was a fun and outgoing teenager. She was inseparable from her siblings. She was adored by her nieces and nephews. She was athletic. She earned medals in track and field, and she dreamed of becoming a hairdresser. And there's another picture of her. It'll come up there. Beautiful young lady. Kima says that Janteyl was 5 months pregnant when she disappeared. While it initially shocked the family, they came together to support Janteyl. Her mom says, we were getting prepared. We were coming to terms with it and even starting to get excited. On the day of Janteyl's disappearance, Kima says she got a call from her daughter once again at school to say that she was not feeling well and would be coming home early. After leaving school, security footage captured Janteyl at a nearby grocery store buying a snack, talking on the phone, and she left the store around 12:30 p.m. Kima says she received another call from Janteyl when she arrived home. Her mom says she told me she was going to nap and asked me to call later to wake her up. She had to go back to school around 3 p.m. for an extracurricular activity. But when Kima called back later to wake her up, Janteyl did not answer. Investigators later determined that she had received another phone call at around 1:38 p.m., which lasted a few minutes, and she stopped answering her phone after that. Janteyl never went back to school that afternoon, and when her family arrived home that evening, Janteyl was gone. According to Kima, she had not taken any belongings with her. Kima believes the person she last spoke with may have lured Janteyl away, but is confident that she would not have willingly stayed away for this long. She says Janteyl was scheduled to have an appointment the week after she went missing to determine the sex of the baby. She was excited. There's no way she would leave like that. Janteyl's disappearance has impacted the entire family, but they have remained hopeful throughout these years. They believe in their hearts that she is still out there. And Kima hopes that this message will reach her daughter. Get that up there so y'all can see it. It says, Dear Puff, I can't believe it's been 15 years since you went missing. This is still so unreal to us all, but we still pray that God will keep you safe wherever you are until you are returned safely to your family. My heart aches for your return, missing you deeply and your precious child. Life has not been the same without your loving spirit, beautiful smile, and special presence. Keeping faith that we will see you soon. Love you with all the pieces of my broken heart. Love, Mommy and Daddy. So once again, if you have any information about Janteyl Johnson's disappearance, please call NCMEC at 1-800-843-5678, the Newcastle County Police Department at 302-395-8171, or the San Antonio Police Department at, I don't know why the San Antonio Police Department at 210-207-7273.